From Wall Street to Main Street, this is Lalate.
It's a big evening here on Evenings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. A done deal, signed, sealed. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you in what's the Purple Hawks are going to pounce and clean up on, and what Donetta is going to be left with just a donut on. I have all the details of this incredible $3.5 trillion of checks coming to the American people and what it means for you. It's coming up in the third part of this video. Then we also cut to the breaking news about the eviction moratorium over and the ending of tapering across the country from the Federal Reserve, what the president had in a secret meeting about your fourth stimulus recon, and what Bernie and Chuck and also Mitch said about the incredible win this week about the fourth stimulus recall. All these incredible details and more, and the excitement about the Lalate alerts, which continue to captivate a country. It's coming up right now as we go into a beautiful Evenings Lalate, direct from Santa Monica, California, starting right now. Good evening, everybody. It's a beautiful evening here in Santa Monica, California. And I'm excited for you to join me with this fourth stimulus check update of 2021 direct from the coast. In this recording, we'll go over those monthly stimulus checks and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. A done deal, signed, seal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people in the fourth stimulus recon. The biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. It's confirmed. It's coming. But what does this mean for you? And why is Donetta going to be left with just donuts and Purple Hawks are going to be left with money? I'll explain the nuances of what that fourth stimulus recon is in this recording. We'll go over the breaking news about the eviction moratorium over, and we'll go over the shocking news from the Federal Reserve, the latest details and more. It's a big evening, including the excitement of the Lalate alerts, and this is Lalate. How are you? Thank you for joining me on a big night across the board. America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, live in the morning and taped in the afternoons. And boy, this weekend is going to be a big weekend. So stay with me Saturday and Sunday because we're going to have a lot of breaking news and we're also going to have a lot of fun. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. So much across this video, a lot of breaking news and a lot of details. Stay to the final 15 minutes of this video. But let's start with those monthly stimulus checks. Everyone's talking about it on both the House and the Senate side. House, AOC, and Omar writing the president just days ago, saying you got to do it monthly, $2,000 a month. Deal done. Warren, Sanders, Wyden saying you need to do it monthly. Get it done, Biden. They don't say the amount, though. House bill actually proposes it in writing. The legislature proposes on the House side $1,000 a month after the first month, pandemic plus 1 year, which would amount to at least 12 checks and at least $13,000. House Ways and Means put in writing a letter to the president saying monthly stimulus check. Get it done, Biden. Monthly stimulus check, and they do not give an amount, but word on the street, it would likely be about $2,000. And they also say a fifth stimulus check as well. And finally, the American petition now at nearly 4 million signatures demanding a monthly stimulus check, $2,000 a month. There you go. So vote House or Senate if you're on the live chat right now. Tell me where you're tuning in from this beautiful evening from Santa Monica, California. With the House bill proposing at least 12 checks, which would amount to at least $13,000. I think you have an opinion. I think you have an opinion. Vote House or Senate. And tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. Well, who gets this fourth stimulus check? Democrats represent you do. Single individual, 75,000 less. Democrats represent you get one. Married couple, 150,000 less. Democrats represent you get a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Family of four, Democrats represent you get a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Democrats represent you get one as well. The fourth stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. And the fourth stimulus check would not be a different amount for different people. Finally, it's not a waivable check. So if you do dare go to the beach and wave wave at the check this weekend, don't wave at him. Just sort of look at him and stare. Why are you staring at me? Because I know you're not a waveable check. You're rude. No, you're the check and you should be waveable. You can have your own internal conversation with the check at home. The second half of this video, we go over the incredible great news about your recon. Done deal, signed, sealed. $3.5 trillion of checks. Confirmed and coming out to you, but mostly application-based. So if you're a Purple Hawk, you're going to kill this. If you're a donut guy, you're just going to get a donut. And then we cut to the incredible details. In the final 15 minutes of this video, so much breaking news. That's why you need those Lalate alerts. Have you not signed up for them? If you did, you got the alerts overnight. If you didn't, you need to do it right now. It's at news.la.com/alerts, and it's the talk of the country. It's the only news organization of its kind with an alert system when breaking news happens. And you go there, you put your name and address in there at news.la.com. Then watch for that confirmation email with the blue button. Click the blue button, and then it'll say thank you. The confirmation email may be in the spam folder, in the promotions folder, or Gmail. And then you get a confirmation email. Last night, breaking news alerts coming in for this channel as the eviction moratorium ended, and also one this morning as the Federal Reserve announces the starting of tapering of federal relief. But let's go into the other part of what's coming up in this second and third part of this video. First, we'll be going over the recon done deal. Then we'll be going over the president did, Bernie, and also Chuck. All incredible details. But get a pen and paper ready because it's time to get some money. You've been killing it, and you've seen the progression of what's happened in just the last week. When we talk about rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, SNAP, and all those items, viewers are getting more money than ever before. Every 48 hours, we see the numbers going higher than they were before. And now we went from viewers getting one item to getting 4 items, and we have gone from seeing viewers getting about, $5,000 to 3 viewers, Purple Hawks, getting $40,000 in the last 48 hours. Yes. The eviction moratorium was announced unlawful overnight by the Supreme Court. It's done. And as soon as that announcement happened, guess what the broadcast media said? But there's money for you to get for rent and utilities. Yeah, did they help you get it? No. What do we do on this channel? We get it together. So get that pen and paper ready. We get some money for rent. How much are people getting for rent and utilities? Well, the success stories came in overnight, and boy, they are just deliciousness. Let's see what we've seen in the last 3 days. Cheyenne, who is a member, Purple Hawk, says she told her friend about this channel, and the friend got $9,000 for rent, $5,000 for utilities, and $6,000 annualized for SNAP. That's $20,000. Says, I told my friend about you, Lalate, and she's now addicted to you. Wow. Beautiful. Does she come with $12 ice cream? Don says, I got $15,000 for you. Congratulations. Joanne got $9,500 for SNAP with Crayola. But I love Joanne's story because she picked up the phone and got 3 items by herself thereafter. She got electric and rent and another item. And then Becca got $2,400 for rent. What a week it's been, because Johnny reveals to us he got $40,000 this week. He got the $10,000 EIDL. He got $1,800 of taxes, $9,000 of utilities, and $21,000 of rent. Those last 2 numbers are big numbers. That's $40,000. And the same day, Robert, who's a regular viewer and a member, says that he got $18,000 for rent, $16,000 for SNAP, and $7,000 for utilities. He says, God bless you for what you're doing. You're doing an incredible job of helping other people. Don't stop doing what you're doing. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So let's go to the money for rent. Bam. Oh, my goodness. Now, we now see with Johnny and Robert and Cheyenne's friend that everyone's getting over $20,000 generally for this rent. Big sums of money. $27,000. Elizabeth, Purple Hawk, and Mark, and there's $25,000. Nancy, $24,000. There's Nisi on the list. Cecilia got $1,200 for heap. That's a heap of heap. But how about utilities? Bam. Oh, my goodness. Now, you just saw how people have been getting big sums of money for utilities. We had $9,000. We had a $6,500. Yeah, we've had a lot of people get higher than these numbers this week. And then for SNAP, which is money for food, oh my goodness, Louie, $18,000. But you're going to see in a second that viewers are now getting $17,000 and $19,000 for SNAP. Yeah, the numbers are going up. And there's Nancy. She got a 3rd item. Oh my goodness, can we get to the Triple Crown? Who are the people who got 3 items from this channel? in addition to the people I just detailed, like Robert and Johnny, bam, oh my goodness, there's Nancy. With $32,000 from this channel with 3 items. Nisi with $23,000 for 3 items. And Mark with $32,000 with 2 items. 2 items. Who put Mark on my graphic about 2 items? This is a graphic for 3 items. Mark reveals to us 4 incredible details, which the 4th one you're hearing for the first time tonight on Evenings LA. Number 1, Mark had gotten 2 items of $32,000, but I said to Mark for 5 days on camera, Mark gets some money for Snap, because it's a Snap to get. And he did. Within 5 days, he got Snap. Success story number 1. Number 2, he told his friend, just like Cheyenne did, and Cheyenne's friend got $20,000. How much did Mark's friend get for rent? The same amount. $20,000 Mark's neighbor got for rent. Oh my goodness. Number 3, the incredible 3rd item about Mark's success story is that Mark was at $32,000 with 3 items. And we thought that was a lot of money about a week ago. Now we end this week with 3 people getting $48,000. 3. Or over $40,000. So how much did Mark get for Snap? That's the 4th success story. Bam. $19,000 for Snap, bringing his grand total to $50,500. And we're not done with that, because look at Lorraine at $105,000. And this is what we do, and we've been doing this since day 1. And this is LA. We've been doing this since day 1 when I launched this channel, because people had applied for that EIDL loan and grant and were not getting approved, and they needed help. And their applications locked up, not getting approved. They were in the 330, the 331, the 48 Vortex, Bombshell. I showed them how to get approved. Got $25 million of EIDL loans approved. The only person in the country that has ever done anything like that anywhere, let alone on YouTube. And then we save people's homes, their businesses, and their employees' homes. But within 2 days, I was helping people get PUA approved. They had never heard of it. It had just gone live in the nation on the 28th of April. And Ellen Ballenkamp and people like in Florida were locked up for 4 weeks. They weren't getting approved because it was late going live in Florida. Got her $15,000. But in 2020's fall, December, people were not seeing that second stimulus check coming, so you need money. And I got viewers money for rent. $250,000, like the incredible story from Tyrone, who got $15,000 for rent, paid all his rent from December to the spring. But now you've been doing bigger and bolder than ever before. So get that pen and paper ready. Tonight is your night to get some money for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners assistance starting right now. Here are the introductory remarks. Number 1, reach out to all 6 places I'm about to reveal to you. If you reach out to one and they say no, don't worry, reach out to the next. They have different eligibility. Number 2, each place has their own pot of money. Number 3, every state has the same amount of money based upon the number of residents are in the state. Number 4, listen to the keywords I say in the video. And number 5, always keep positive and don't assume disqualification in your mind. All right, here we go. You're going to reach out to the following 6 places. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. There you go. Don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or Mitchatini. Mitchabikini? No, Mitchatini. Canute, it's Mitchatini, not Mitchabikini. It's that drink that no one wants to try. I just don't want to try it. I don't drink anything with ice cream in it, or yogurt in there as well. And there you go. A funny, interesting comment I got on Early Mornings LA today. Someone said, I reached out to get that money for rent, and they said, sorry, we only have rent assistance because of COVID. I read the comment, I laughed, because I said, yeah, that's what I said. It's rent assistance because of COVID. So I guess the person just called him and said, hi, can I have some rent? Why? Just because. Oh, no, you can't. Keywords, rent assistance because of COVID. If you got rent and utilities as well, post in the live chat right now. And let's turn to Snap, because it's a Snap. And there you go. Ling Len got it for herself, her son, and her mom, Gail, got it as well. And Louis got $18,000. Mark got $19,000. Where is that Snap? It's from Department of Agriculture. Reach out to it. It's Department of Agriculture. And boy, The incredible great news came last week, and the incredible news was the following: that the Department of Agriculture is increasing everyone's benefits nationwide. False narrative alert. If someone jumps in the comments and says, my state's not increasing SNAP, it's a federal program. It's increased nationwide. Every state has to do it. It's actually paid from the federal government, these benefits. So the federal government is increasing everyone's benefits nationwide. And how much? Oh my goodness. An average of 25% lifetime automatically starting in October. Yes, incredible great news. So if you're in the live chat, you've gotten Snap as well. Post your success story. If you have rent, utilities, success stories, post your success story right now. With that, let's cut to the next money. And that is the refund check coming back from your state due to overpayment of unemployment benefits due to computer error. States have been ordered to return this money back to you by the federal government. So one viewer got $3,000, another viewer got $5,000. The federal government said to the states, your computers are out of date. The state said, but it's Windows 10. The federal government said, that's Windows 1910. Yeah, it is. The keyboard is made out of wood. But I upgraded from Windows 05, the 1905 version, when the computer was made out of stone. The Flintstones. Yeah, gotta catch up, folks. There you go. And the last spot of the money is the refund check coming back from IRS for that 2020 taxes you paid unemployment benefits on. The unemployment benefits you paid taxes on. Margaret got it, Cod got it, Michael got it. But first, here's a personal message for me as well. If you're on the live chat and you've not posted a success story for rent, utilities, and food, please do it right now. Because when you do it, you inspire other people. The channel was launched for me to help you get money, and it's important for you to also inspire other people and be helpful to them. You're helpful to them when you post your success stories, because then they realize, wait a second, I need to pick up the phone. A lot of people need that encouragement. They need that motivation, that inspiration to pick up the phone, because then they realize, wait a second, people are getting $20,000. I should be getting this money. People then realize the monies are more money than we originally thought. This ain't a few $100s for utilities. This is a lot of money. Then a lot of people never heard of Snap till they found this channel. Larry Maui never knew about Snap till he watched me. Now he's getting $500 a month lifetime because of me and this channel. And then a lot of people never heard of getting 3 items. Nancy and Nisi and Art Sullivan got 3 items. They inspired countless viewers to get 3 items. Now some are getting 4 items. And finally, we realize the numbers are going bigger and bolder than ever before. So post your success stories in the live chat right now. Let's cut back to those unemployment benefits. Average waivable check is about $1,200, $1,400. One viewer got $2,000. And can you track it? Yeah, go to irs.gov and do a transcript search. 70% of the time it will work. It will reveal the taxes you paid, the tax refund check you're getting back, and then it'll reveal stuff you wish you had never seen, like the ingredients list to the Micciatini. Yeah, half part lobster sauce, half part $12 ice cream. Oh my goodness, awful. Can we top that? Yes, deal done. Signed, sealed, and away we go. Your $3.5 trillion price package has been passed. We end this week with incredible great news that the recon procedural passed this week. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people. Let's explain what's going on. A reconciliation discussion started weeks and weeks ago, in which the Democrats had met, and I was the only one really reporting this news, that the meetings involved not just senators, but also House members with the president, discussing a price tag and agreeing to do it. And they agreed, yeah, we'll do it, and we'll do it at a price tag of $3.5 trillion. So going into Tuesday's vote, which a lot of people said was not going to happen, I said it was, and I said it was going to take 10 seconds. Happened on Tuesday, and did take 10 seconds, and it was passed, $3.5 trillion. What does this mean for you? It means that, yes, there is going to be a recon. Yes, it's going to be $3.5 trillion, and yes, it's going to be $3.5 trillion of checks for you. But those checks are generally application-based, not a 50-page application, just more than holding a donut in your hand. Something along the lines of picking up the phone and calling and saying, yeah, I qualify for this. You've done it on a first, you've done it on a second, you've done it on a third. What are these checks? I go over them in the third part of this video. Stay in the final 15 minutes of this video. How do we get to this wonderful spot? By taking roads and bridges out of the recon and putting it into the bipartisan. A conservative publication confirms my reporting. The higher the price tag was on the recon, the harder it was to pass. There you go. By allowing Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, roads and bridges put in the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. In other words, the bipartisan deal helped the recon get passed. I had told you going into this week that there was going to be a recon vote on Tuesday, but that the vote was already agreed upon months ago before they started the process. And that's why it passed so quickly in a blink of an eye. Sort of like an I Dream of Jeannie episode. And this is what was going on before they agreed upon the price tag, was that they said, hey, gotta go high on the number. That's what Representative Richie Torres and Ilhan Omar, both Democrats and progressives, had said. Need a larger recon and need a recon that goes as big and bold as we want it. They got it, $3.5 trillion. That's why it passed so quickly. When talking about the price tag before this process started, the president said to the Democrats and progressives, protect my recon, because everything in that recon is money from the American people. The White House considers the progressive priorities in there, the White House's priorities, said Brian Schatz and Jalapal in comments weeks ago. So what is a recon and what is a bipartisan? What is a recon procedural and what is a recon substantive? And now that recon procedural has passed, what is left to do on a recon substantive? And did they just start this week or have they been doing it all along? Let's go over all the details starting right now. Recon versus bipartisan. Two very, very different instruments, but both very important. Number one, recon is your money, also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill, price tag $3.5 trillion, also called the Democratic spending plan or the progressive social reform plan. Price tag $3.5 trillion, all checks for you. Bipartisan, not your money. This is also called infrastructure, roads and bridges, price tag $1.5 trillion. We started the week with 3 items. We're done with number one, recon procedural, done. We're on now recon substantive and bipartisan. What's the difference between recon procedural and recon substantive? Basically, recon procedural just says, are we doing it? Yeah, we're doing it. And then recon substantive says, okay, what are the terms and conditions of it? So recon procedural. Are we going to do $3.5 trillion of checks to the American people? That's going to be split among these 20, 30, 40, 50 committees? Yeah. Okay, done. So now recon substantive goes over the issue of, okay, now that a committee is given $10 to disperse to the American people, what are the terms and conditions of how they spend the money? And there you go. More about that in the final 15 minutes of this video, but how do we get to this wonderful spot? From Jalapal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying, check all the vote on the recon. And that letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100 plus, who recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to do monthly forced stimulus checks, the forced stimulus recon. Yes. Can we top that? We can. As 7 members of that House Ways and Means Committee, oh, the one we talked about earlier? Yeah, recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks in the forced stimulus recon. Well, Purple Power, you got to keep these people to their promise, because guess what? That is one of several groups that say they're giving you stimulus checks. House Ways and Means is joined with AOC and Omar with the $2,000 a month, Wyden, Sanders, and Warren with the monthly. The House bill with the $1,000 a month, pandemic plus 1 year. You got to push Purple Power across the board. And can we top that? Yes, Biden did it. The President of the United States got it done with a global minimum corporate tax rate now upwards of 9 weeks ago. And that thing is confusing and not part of your concern. It's out of the forced stimulus recon, making the forced stimulus recon easier to pass. First, easier to vote, to draft, easier to write, easier to vote on, and easier to pass because this confusing thing is not in there. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, a lot of breaking news tonight. The eviction moratorium over. What does this mean for you? The Federal Reserve's comments about ending tapering today. Wow, this is a big one. This is a huge one. What does this mean for you as well? And your SSI benefits. Then we're going to go over the big money under this recon. What does it mean for you versus the donut guy? And why are you ready to pounce as a Purple Hawk and get big sums of money for this? I'll go over all of these incredible checks and also a personal message at the end. Meantime, if you have not gotten one item from this channel since you've been a viewer, please do so. Pick up the phone and get some money for rent, utilities, or food, because then when you do, you're ready to pounce as a Purple Hawk under forced stimulus. Rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance, symbols, things like that. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. And then after you can't get the rest of the money, then reach out to the volunteers. Here's a little bit about the volunteers. I'm back with you in 60 seconds as a Big Evenings LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance,
and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join Lalate Daily for the excitement of the new Lalate live daily. The excitement starts on mornings Lalate at 9 a.m. Home Lalate returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on Lalate.
And the excitement continues right now, direct from Santa Monica, California, as your Evenings LA broadcast continues. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, we go over the final 15 minutes of this video. As the recon is done, but what does this mean for you? How do you get these checks? What does application base mean? And why is Donetta going to be left with just a donut while the Purple Hawks are going to be ready to pounce? I go over all the incredible details in this video. Then we go over what Bernie said, what Chuck said, and what the president said about this as well. And then we go over the shocking developing details about the eviction moratorium and what the president did and what did Jay Powell do today as well. So many details, and it starts right now as a big Evenings LA continues, and this is LA. Thank you for joining me across the board. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The link is under the video. Become a Purple Hawk or Purple Power Calcino VIP right now. Meantime, if you've not signed up for the incredible new LA alerts, you need to do so. It's at news.la.com. You'll get an alert like this. You'll get a confirmation email like this. Make sure you're confirmed, and then away we go. It's the new LA alerts. Let's go into this stimulus and what the president had proposed and wow, what's happening. First, they're going to raise your benefits up under this SSI reform that starts drafting in September, going to a vote by about November. First, they'll raise your benefits up. Then they'll remove the asset limit, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. How does this work? Let's go over all the details. And what happened today with Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve? Well, going into today, throughout the week, I had told you that the Federal Reserve Chair, Jay Powell, was going to, in the Jackson Hole Symposium, announce that tapering might happen in December. What is tapering? Federal Reserve tapering means that since the start of the pandemic, the Federal Reserve had been buying Treasury yields or Treasury instruments to support the economy so that the market remained liquid, that banks remained liquid and would not default. Clearly, banks are not going bankrupt anymore. That concern is not there. So what they're going to do starting December is start to taper, start to stop buying things in the U.S. Federal instruments to support the economy. They're not raising interest rates now. That's a year from that. It's totally different. And why are they doing this? Why are they doing this tapering? Because inflation is going higher than they originally thought. Oh, this is great news for you for fifth stimulus. First is they're going to raise your benefits up under this fifth stimulus package. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark, and that new benchmark will be inflation. I'm saying maybe about 5%. Today, the Federal Reserve said it may spike at about 3.5%. Yeah, so we're getting close to my number right away. But we're still not done yet. They're still watching to see how high inflation may go. And then once they raise your benefits up for inflation, they never step down. Because inflation, once your benefits rise up, they never step down lifetime. It's incredible, great news. They're going to remove the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law. They're going to remove the income cap dating back to a 1960s law. And they're going to get rid of the marriage penalty. Love is going to win, and you'll be able to do a pair dance and no longer fear loss of benefits. Finally, will there be a fifth stimulus check? There will be, says the House Ways and Means Committee. And lastly, if you're not a Purple Hawk, what are you doing? You need to become a Purple Hawk today. The membership link is under the video where it says join now. Members have that emoji next to their name of a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Members only are delivered daily from me a breakdown of all the big money under second stimulus, third stimulus, and proposed under fourth and fifth. And that's why Purple Hawks are getting $40,000 a day, 3 of them in less than 3 days. That's why Purple Hawks are getting $20,000 for rent and 3 other items, $50,000, $100,000. Purple Hawks understand the numbers that are in these stimulus packages are really in the details, and those details are delivered from me to Purple Hawks daily across the board. What's important to understand is that when third stimulus was passed and a $1,400 stimulus check was included, I immediately said, I don't want you to focus or look for that $1,400 stimulus check. It'll land. I want you as a Purple Hawk to pounce and get the $14,000 I can get you under third stimulus. And that's what Purple Hawks have been doing, getting far in excess of $14,000, $32,000, $40,000, and $50,000 across the board. So consider becoming a Purple Hawk. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video starting right now. Deal done, sign sealed, and finished. Your Recon $3.5 trillion is passed. Recon $3.5 trillion procedural passed this week, which means that 1, there will be a Recon. 2, it'll be $3.5 trillion. And 3, it's all checks for you. Now, what do these checks mean? These checks are generally application-based checks. There's a push underway to put stimulus checks in there in addition to that. But these are generally application-based checks, which you've been doing with this channel since day one. Since day one of this channel, you've been picking up the phone and calling and getting items when I say that something was available, whether it was Alan Ballenkamp in April of 2020, or whether it was the anyone else that did PBT, whether it was someone who did EIDL or PUA or PPP. You have done this day one. The big money is that money. And there's nothing that limits you from getting multiple checks under this 4 stimulus recon, because you may qualify potentially and likely qualify for multiple items across the board. Who's not going to be happy? Donetta. Because there's likely not going to be anything for a donut person, in addition to what's covered in this video, that you can just sit back and it automatically lands in your bank account. Yes, a push is underway to get stimulus checks in there additionally, but what is guaranteed at the moment is stuff that is not in your hand as a donut. Let's go over all the incredible details starting right now. The recon procedural passed this week, which means that there's doing a recon and it's $3.5 trillion and it's checks for the American people. So what's left is the deal terms and conditions of that recon money. How are they going to spend the money? How does it get spent? And that is why recon substantive is so important. Now the committees have gotten the money to spend on you. What are the terms and conditions? That is why we have brought back on this channel Seats for Stimulus, the social media campaign from 2020, which trended and captivated the nation at the time, and was the talk of the House floor on Monday when they said we need to do the right stimulus. 6 House seats are up for grabs. That could determine the balance of power among Republicans and Democrats. Seats for Stimulus basically says, give us our stimulus or we take your seats. You need to make sure that when they're spending this money, while it's all coming to us, you need to make sure they spend it the right way. So of that money, let's go over all the details starting right now. What's an example of some of the items? Well, here's some of the proposals that are not law and not bill yet, but at least proposed for this for stimulus recon. Checks of all different types. Free school meals for all checks. Tax break checks. Cheaper prescription medication checks. Checks for farmers, checks for free internet, checks for workers, and checks for seniors like independent contractors, like checks for dental, checks for vision, checks for hearing care, and checks for lowering the eligibility age. Now, the President of the United States had a secret meeting last Sunday to say, with the Democrats, I need to have you get this message out. What message, Mr. President? Talk a lot about the cheaper prescription medication. Why? Because that's an instant savings to the American people overnight. They'll get money out of this. Basically, what he's saying is the following, is that when you look at prescription medication, you may go to a pharmacy today and pay $50 for a medication. We pass this as a law tomorrow. Then you go back for a refill for that medication a week from now, it's $5. Suddenly you save $45 instantly because we made this law. He wants them to talk about this a lot, saying, we're instantly saving you money. Great idea. Now, what did Bernie Sanders say about this? Bernie Sanders said yesterday that he wants your input. So get your input. Tag your elected officials, Seats for Stimulus. Contact them and say, you need to spend the money the right way. Bernie Sanders is the budget chairman, and he says, I need input. And he says, I understand that prior budget chairmen historically have done their work within D.C., but I really think the function of the budget chairman is get out among the people. What we're proposing in this budget is enormously popular, so he wants your input. Chuck Schumer says he's getting revisions and ideas daily, 4 to 5 times a day. We've been working, Bernie and I, closely. We probably talk 4 to 5 times a day. And even Mitch McConnell says Bernie Sanders lost the Democratic presidential nomination, but won the Democratic Party. So now let's go back over the incredible next details you need to know across the board. With the eviction moratorium over, done and eliminated by the Supreme Court in an 8-page opinion last night, eviction moratorium is done deal. It's gone. And with that, the print media is saying, hey, go get money for rent. How do you find it? They're not showing you how to get it. That's why this channel is important. Then, with Jay Powell saying that we need to start tapering in December, there's concern that inflation's going high. And that is why it's important to stay here, because that could be big lifts for your SSI and SSDI. Let's cut over to then what's going on with the substance of the recon substantive and the items for you. When you look at recon substantive, and we just went over dental, vision, hearing, farmers, internet, those 5 items, they're never paid for by Department of Treasury. They're never paid for by the IRS. IRS doesn't send you money for your teeth or your vision or your hearing. Those are in divisions of the government. And you've been doing this your entire life. You've been doing that. You've been doing that with this channel, and you'll continue to do it in the future. And that is what is called application-based stimulus. When you pick up the phone and say, I want that money. I just went over 5 examples of 5 items, and those 5 items would be in potentially different committees. One committee would have your internet that may not have your dental. You're going to need to pick up the phone and call and say, I want that money. They're going to tell you where you get it, and you're going to go get it. And you've done this before. You've been doing this because that's what this channel launched for. This channel launched to show you how to get money that's yours to pick up and go get it. And that is why Purple Hawks are going to clean up under forced stimulus, because you will have already done one of these things over the last year. You may have picked up the phone and caught $200 for gas, $200 for utilities because of COVID. Well, when I tell you for forced stimulus, this money is here, go get it. This money is there, go get it. You're going to get it. And what is Donetta going to be left with? Nothing. Because Donetta will just be holding a donut saying, when is it landing in my bank account? The check for your internet not landing in your bank account just because you're alive and holding a beautiful donut, and also have a really nice hairstyle, a nice, a nice backdrop. Just everything's nice about you. But there's nothing particularly great about you that you should automatically get an internet check just because you're there and holding a donut. That is how the difference is. And this is where the game changing happens. Yes, a push is underway to get those stimulus checks in there in addition to that. But this money, guaranteed 3.5 trillion of it. Finally, a personal message, and also the LA alerts. Let's go first to the LA alerts. It's a 24 hours like this that you really need the LA alerts. You never know when something happens. And I was literally watching a NFL game. It was not live. There was no NFL game yesterday, but I was watching a replay of an NFL game, and suddenly the eviction moratorium came in, and I had to announce it. So I went in, I wrote it up, sent out the alert, and you got it. Then this morning, I was getting ready to go on a camera, and the federal tapering, which is a major issue. Everyone's been waiting for this for 2 years, well, a year and a half. That came in, and I immediately sent out the alert. So make sure you sign up to the LA alerts. If you have not confirmed, watch that spam folder for the confirmation email. It may be in the promotions folder. Click it. And then if you still don't see it, you can always reapply. It's totally free, 100% free to make sure you get it. Finally, a personal message. You know what? We deal with a lot of strange stuff in a given day, don't we? It's Mitchatini, not Mitcha Bikini. Yeah, we deal with a lot of strange stuff. But at the 1 o'clock afternoon's LA show today, there was a person who was in the live chat, and the person, not a member, was repeatedly posting wrong information about rent and utilities and the stuff we cover on this channel. The person was posting stuff like, United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action has no money for anyone, anywhere, in any state, do not apply to them. Imagine the impact that something so incorrectly like that does for so many people that may be in the live chat and may have just found this channel, doesn't know that that's totally 100% wrong, and may have seen that and say, okay, I just won't apply to them because that person just said don't apply. Now, no one will ever know if that person intentionally meant to say that wrong statement or simply was just misguided. But by the way the person wrote it, it looked like the person intentionally knew that that was a wrong statement. Things like that can be very damaging to people as we try to progress through the rest of this year and get these sums of money, where someone sort of jumps in and wants to say, here, don't get the money because it doesn't exist. And you could see that and say, oh, you either believe it if you just found this channel, maybe you did not watch. Maybe you did not watch the 700 videos I made about that very subject matter from like October of last year to March. Yeah, I made about 700 videos about that subject matter. I haven't made any this week. And if you hadn't seen those videos, then you would maybe believe the false comment. But if you had seen my videos, then you would certainly know it's an incorrect comment. But imagine how damaging that comment is to people who would qualify for money. You may qualify for rent, utilities, food, internet, or other assistance. They help with mortgages and things like that. But because of that comment, that person said, don't reach out to those agencies. Then the person went on to say something like, don't reach out to any churches or anything like that, which is totally untrue. I mean, I've had churches in St. Louis that paid, 3 different churches in St. Louis in December paid people's money for rent and utilities. It was just total, it's so very, very untrue statement. Those type of comments are very, very troubling. So what I'm asking you to do is that if you see someone post in the comments a comment that is so egregiously untrue that you think it could be damaging to people seeing that comment that need that money, then send me a private message on social media and tell me the name of the video and tell me the name of the viewer, and the viewer will be banned, because it's very important that the spreading of false information where people are discouraged from getting money because that person is spreading the false information is very troubling, and it should never, ever happen. And with that, we're trying to figure out how to get everything together. Remember, don't let anyone rain on your parade. Let the money rain, and let them be left soaking wet. Watching without an umbrella while the money is raining for you. And with that, join me next as Overnight Crypto heats up. Sirloin is at 8 o'clock tonight. Sirloin had a message for you as well. It's not called reconciliation. It's called recalculation. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want your brother's family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The links under the video. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with Ally for more.